Alright, pretty exciting one today. Finally got in my review of the ECD DNA 2.0. I know it took a little bit. I had mentioned that on Instagram that I was going to do it eventually. It's finally here. Big reason I wanted to take a little bit of time was to actually work around with it. Not take a couple bounce back, put on the bounce back a little bit, or pass it with a buddy, or take it out shooting for 30 minutes and go, oh wow, it's great. Whatever, right? I wanted to actually use it. I wanted to actually run it through and really see the head in action. Um, I played a game with it. I've practiced with it. I've kind of, just let some of my buddies even dick around with it a little bit. And the reviews are pretty positive. This thing's absolutely awesome. Big things that they're changed from the DNA. Really just tighten the face shape just ever so slightly, especially right kind of in here. It's still pretty wide. I really prefer narrower heads. For me personally, my face-off heads are all pretty tight in, and then even like I was a big Mirage 2 guy, and so it's a little bit wide, but it's still really really good. It strings a great pocket, so it's like I almost don't really notice how wide it still is compared to some other heads. I'm pretty easygoing too. Like it's like I have preferences, but like if I'm handed something else, I can still use it just fine. And that's kind of where this head fits in. If you use the original DNA, we all know how it was designed to be for everybody. Really kind of an all-arounder. And from what I kind of understand from people that used it, I got to play around with it a little bit when my buddies had it. It really kind of did the job. A lot of people talk highly about it. So for them to come along and go, hey, we're revamping it, we're building off of that, we're making it better, they definitely did. This thing is lighter than the original, yet just as stiff, if not stiffer, which is like impressive. It really takes a lot to try and flex it, and you wouldn't notice. Which is great. Like again, like you look at my review of like the FL recovery, I like how it really bends and then really goes back. This thing, you don't even know that I bent it, right? And that's huge. When it comes to just anybody on the field, we all hate it when our sticks get bent, when our heads start bending because we hit other people with them, or we're taking shots and right they just start warping and changing. This thing's great about that. Granted, I've only been using this for pretty much since it came out, to the time of me filming this. So it's like I haven't put this thing really through like heavy use. Right, it's seen a game, which it performed pretty well. I did not, but the head itself did really well. It did what I needed it to do, which was great. It bailed me out of a couple situations where I sucked, but it was great. I love the grip on it. Again, keeping that same kind of choke up point, which I love that ECD does. I loved it on my Mirage 2. Love it just as much on here. I really like the new kind of pattern here on the. Right, can't really see it, but it's kind of cool. The crab, and it's a nice change up from just kind of the like sticker that they've been using. Ball stop's pretty sick as well, but that's really kind of the basics of it. It was amazing. I bet I'm a two-way Middie especially, and on defense it's able to lay a couple good checks, right? And then on offense it's able to throw. It feels great, and I think the fact that it's lighter than the original kind of helps it out a little bit compared to the original. I just said that twice, but right, the original was heavy. It was more of a D mid or LSM's head, like preferentially. Some people did like it as the heavier, and that's definitely okay. Like all the power to you. I really like my lightweight sticks. This thing's lighter. It's not as lightweight as the Mirage, and I have it on my MTX. But like the MTX is already a little beefy of a shaft compared to like the LTX, so this head feels perfect on it. I think it's like perfect. I will definitely be continuing to use this. And then depending on how the rest of the season goes, we'll kind of see again. I might do an update on that kind of after the end of the summer, kind of showing, oh yeah, did I still really like it, or did I change? So that's really it. It's not like supposed to be like super big. I love this thing. I think it's a great MIDI head for me, which is always good, as well as because of its anti-warping abilities. I'm really hoping that I'll get a lot of use out of this before I have to buy something else. So yeah, that's really it. Um, yeah, that's. I really run out of positive things to say. It's amazing, and I love it. And that's pretty much it. Um, there was one other thing actually. One thing I noticed. So I bought this at my Play It Again store that I work at, and it's not been selling as quickly as the Ion, I've noticed. So I wonder if that's just because the Ion was kind of weird. Because like I used the Ion for a little bit. I did pick one up. Um, it was a weird head. I think it was really cool. I think the technology behind it was really cool. I think performance wise, it wasn't quite what everybody wanted. I think it was more catered towards the higher end level of players compared to, like your pretty generic, or high school, you know, youth. It looked great. It was a cool head. I think it was a great head for higher end players. Lower end, I don't think we're going to get as much use out of it, right? I included, especially also as a face off guy at that time, especially, I was really heavy face off. I did not get a lot of use out of it. So I wonder if some of it's also because people are like, oh, either they're still using it or because a lot of people I know that got them, including myself, we sold it back to Play It Again or we just got rid of it. We went with other options. Like with my Ion, I just slapped my Mirage 2 back on there, and now I have on the MTX, and now I have my DNA here. It's so I wonder if it's just people are afraid to try it because the other one was kind of questionable, the previous launch. And if you're on the fence, if you go, well, I didn't like the Ion, why would I like this? This one's just better. It's a little bit heavier than the Ion. It's like completely opposite of the Ion. It's heavier, it's sturdier, but I feel like you're going to get better performance out of it than the Ion, especially if you're more of a MIDI, or right if you're even like do some LSM or whatever. This is going to be a much better option for you. Even in attackman, I would say this would be better just because it's going to stick with you through the checks, through just all the beefed up play you're going to be going through. This is a better option. I truly believe that. If you still like your Mirage, absolutely keep your Mirage. If you like that a little bit lighter, absolutely do that. If you even still use like the Rebel offense or Rebel defense, I would say those are kind of running their time is running out on those heads. This is kind of be your better option compared to those. Better face shape, better offset, just better head overall. So that's it now. That's it now. I'm done. I'm gonna go inside. These mosquitoes are bothering the fuck out of me. We've been getting so much rain here in Colorado. So I'm gonna go inside. I'll catch y'all later. Take care.